What is good? What is good? What is good? Good people. It is I, the man that you all know and love, E Digger. That's right. Yes. Ooh. It just feels like forever. It feels like forever when I'm not on here. It's like a disconnect because this is my sanctuary. This is my zen. This is my place of peace. And I'm talking about, of course, the Lions Den Media Studio. Let's go. Yes. Crazy week. Crazy week. I had, because many of you knew, I went to a different location from my job. Um, and I started last Monday. I started last Monday. And it's just so much better. So much better. I need to say that. And two, um, it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to, take in, of course, with a new job or new settings, new people. It's a lot. It's a lot to get acclimated to. But I am there. Yes, I am there. And I can say that, a lot of people that are there, surprisingly, I know them. It's not like, I need to know them or trying to fit in or anything like that. It's pretty much, like meeting, just meeting people, just meeting familiar people, just meeting, or rekindling, relationships that you had with, the people uh that was there at one point. Sorry. Um and I wanted this move because, changing scenery, just to get away from, you know just to get away, just to get away from toxicity. And everybody needs that. Everybody needs to get away from toxicity. Everybody needs to change. Change is important. Change is something, if something is not working in your favor or working for you or working in your best interest, it's time to go. It is time to make a change, so to speak. And that's what I did. I, you know, you can only take but so much. Hey, what's up, best friend? My best friend is on TikTok right now. Shout out to my best friend. Yes. And, everybody wants to be valued, you know. And I'm not saying, you got to do it every day. You got to, praise a person every day, but congratulate somebody for their hard work, congratulate them for a job well done, and you work your ass off. You work your ass off, and you do not get the praise that you deserve. You don't get the recognition that you deserve. And shout out to yes, thank you, Nikki. My best friend is here and she is watching. Shout out to you. Thank you for always supporting me. Um, and I'm gonna touch on that in a minute as well. Support, but for the most part, it's it was just time, and you can feel it, people. It's like once you did all you could do, and once you have that feeling like you just don't care no more, it's time to go. And when people used to tell you that, you ever heard a person say, I'm tired of this job, or I'm tired of you're not being recognized, you're not being considered. You don't it's time to go. It is time to go. A lot of people say, if you got a backup, I don't recommend anybody just leaving their job, just quitting their job without a backup. First off, everybody needs support, but especially our men, because no one is worried about y'all. Yes, yes, I agree. And my whole thing is, you know, um, you start to feel underappreciated, under you just feel like, why am I here when everybody is in high positions and they're looking down on you. Um and they it was crazy. It was crazy, and the reason why I left is because of the toxicity. I just couldn't do it no more. So I'm at a place now where we are appreciated. We are told every night, even on nights that we didn't do so good, we are still appreciated. um just to be appreciated sometimes, just to say thank you sometimes, just to say, God, job well done. Or, I know it was a bad night, but y'all gave it y'all all. And hearing that, sometimes hearing that is you will never know how much it will make a person day just better than they did when they came in. Just hearing that, you know you did your best, you did what you can do. And then the blame, don't give me no pizza party, just my flowers. Yes. Exactly. They were, oh my god. And I said this, it was crazy, best friend, because I said this in the last podcast, or that I did. And I said, yo, like, how much pizza can you buy? Like, give me a day off. You know what I'm saying? Give me a day off, or give me like a half a day or something. And then, my godbrother, he chimed in and said, well, it's a tax write-off. I get it. I understand that. But god damn, I mean, I'm lactose intolerant. I don't even eat pizza. I mean, I eat pizza when I shouldn't be eating pizza, but I don't even like pizza like that. Like, the first thing they say is, well, I'm gonna buy lunch for everybody. And then you see all of these 20 some odd pizza boxes start coming in. I am no, no. So at this new place, they made it perfectly clear that we ain't going to pizza y'all to death. Right. They said it. They said we are not gonna pizza y'all to death. We gonna buy some other foods. We're gonna buy some foods that y'all like, whatever y'all want. You know what I'm saying? When the numbers start hitting, Domino's Pizza Hut, those Caesars, no appreciate. Don't no appreciate me with a crab cake. Yes, yes, from Coco's. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, buy me a Coco's crab cake. And for those who don't know about Coco's, oh my God. You need to come to Baltimore and experience that. But that's another podcast. Anywho, I want to get into today's topic. And it's kind of interesting because tomorrow is Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Hey, best friend, can you hear the sound effects that I'm playing? Let me know if you can hear the sound effects if you still on, um, that I'm playing, please. Tomorrow is Father's Day. Shout out to okay, thank you, best friend. I appreciate you. Shout out to all the fathers out there, whether you are a biological father, whether you are a stepdad like myself, and I am a biological father to my child. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the grandparents, grandfathers, uncles. just to all the father figures out there who played a very intricate part in a child's upbringing. You know, this day is for you. And I know that, and it's crazy because we are not celebrated all the time. We are somewhat invisible. That is my word for today. Invisible. You still are a part of a very important life to someone. You are a very, very important asset to the community. Um, and this day is for you. This day is celebrated for you. So shout out to all the dads out there, or the stepdads, or the granddads, or of the uncles, godfathers out there. This day is for you. So celebrate your day. And then speaking of which, like I said, shout out to the dads. Yes. Speaking of which, I got two videos that I'm gonna show. One is funny and one is kind of scripted. And I know y'all be seeing these videos on TikTok or Instagram and stuff like that, where the woman goes out on a date, on a first date or date, and they expect the first date to somehow provide food, like leave food for the kids, and you going out on the first date. I'm gonna stop talking about it. You know my fashion. I'm gonna play it. Here you go.
Money to leave for these kids so they can get some DoorDash.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, babe.
So, I get the door for you real quick.
I know we ready to go on a date or whatever, but I need to leave some money for the kids so they can get some food from the DoorDash. You mind giving me a couple dollars?
A couple of dollars. This is our first date. Where they daddy at? With the money.
All that don't matter. I'm asking you. I'm going on a date with you.
I know, but that's not like technically like you supposed to have that set up before you call yourself going out on a date. The children should already be straight. That shouldn't be like a responsibility on me. Like,
so my
pay
kids,
for your kids' food.
Yeah, my kids not important to you. It's a package deal.
We just met. In order for a package deal, we just met. How like this all happened like real fast. Like I got.
So you're not gonna give me no money to leave for my kids?
No, that's not. You should already have that straight before you called yourself going out on a date. No, I'm not. That's not. You know what? Maybe this wasn't a good idea.
Really?
You don't have your children straight, so you shouldn't be going out on a date.
So you just gonna cancel the date? You're not gonna help me with the kids or feed the kids or nothing?
Those ain't feed the kids. They not my kids.
All right.
They're not even.
All right.
Yeah,
cool. Take care.
I know these videos are scripted. Somehow they are scripted, but the message that is conveyed through these videos, first off, they are not my goddamn kids. Let's get that straight. They are not my kids. If they were my kids, yes, we leaving money for DoorDash. And let's talk about DoorDash for a minute. Why DoorDash? Like you can't order. Here we go. Pizza, you can't order pizza for them. They have to be DoorDash. And first of all, DoorDash is hella expensive. That's one. DoorDash is right. Why ain't she best friend? You hitting it today. Why didn't she just go ahead and cook? Why? So okay, help me make this make sense. First date, right? They going out or whatever the case, I don't know. And she's getting ready and you leaving you leaving the kids in the house. That's one. Second of all, why didn't she just go ahead and cook knowing that she was going to go out on this first date? On this supposed first date with this guy. Why didn't she just go ahead and whip up something real quick, Leave it with them. Hey, I'm going on this date. Y'all grab this. This is dinner. Blah blah blah. Or if she have older kids, it's a lot of ways you can look at this. If you have older kids that are able to cook, why didn't you get the older kids to uh cook? All right, best friend writes, first off, before I set foot anywhere, my kids going to be fed and bathed. That's what I don't understand. Like, why is the man responsible for your children, especially if they are not his kids? So he was 100% correct when he said, they ain't my kids. I am not giving no for DoorDash for all places like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, all of that. That is expensive, lady. Like, what are you talking about? Like, second of all, which my best friend said, the new school dating and parenting are just not it for me. Exactly. I don't get it. And I get it. I get it. I get the video. The video is scripted because y'all probably seen these type of videos more than once on like TikTok, Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. I get it. They are very, very scripted, but it kind of makes sense. It makes you think. That's like going on a date with a guy and you bring in 4 of your girlfriends. That is not a date. Y'all seen those? Like the girl to bring like 3, 4 of her girlfriends and they ordering all of this stuff, but it was supposed to have been a date with the girl and the guy, but the girl is bringing 4 other people, and the dude, of course, he is oblivious to what's going on. Like come on, girl, come on, and he got to pay for all of them. He got to pay for you, him, and them. No, it ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. We not doing this today. We are not about to do this today. Same with this video. I'm not paying for your kids for no DoorDash. I'm not buying them. And okay. So, and I was thinking about this before I went live, and I said, well, maybe, and then she want to call him broke. Yes, yes. I was thinking about this before I went live because I was in that situation, but I was talking to the girl. I was talking to her for a good little time. And when I say good little time, it was like, I say like a month, 2 months. And she had kids. She had a lot of kids. And she I came over. Of course, the kids was there. They was mad. And y'all gonna laugh when I say this because they was mad because she didn't cook. And she was like feeling some type of way. She was like, I'm not cooking, I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. So when I came over, it was like she had like 6 kids. That's one. Don't judge me. And of course, this is way before this way before marriage. I'm telling you. She had like 6 kids, and all the kids was there. It was in the living room, and the girl, she was like, I'm not cooking. I'm tired. I'm not cooking. So they was they was mad. They was big mad. She did have an older daughter and an older son, but they were like, I'm not cooking as well. So all the little kids, the littler kids was mad because nobody was cooking. So I was like, all right. So I'm sitting there and their little faces was like broke down, like, oh my God, we hungry, we mad, my mom is not cooking. So I was like, all right, there's a Wendy's around the corner. And I said, I got a couple of extra money or extra dollars. And I said, hey, why not? I'll go and I'll get them something to eat. Ain't gonna be no extravagant, big meals, but I'll do something. You see what I'm saying? And she was like, "Oh, that is so nice." She didn't tell me, and then she wanted. Oh, that was an old message. And she didn't tell me to do this. I did it on my own. But like I said, we was talking for a good little while. I can understand that. Now, if they was talking for a while, I can see if y'all was going out, the guy and the girl, they going out, and you say, hey, well, here go $20 or $25 to get them some pizza. I'm not getting you no DoorDash or anything like that, but I give you 25, for some pizza. And if I was talking to the female more than just that one time, just that like that first date, you see what I'm saying? I can really understand that. Anywho, but the first date and I gotta pay for your kids to eat or give her money for the kids to eat. Nah, I'm sorry, bestie. I still can't see it unless there's like a real commitment. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we was talking for a minute, and I didn't want to see. I don't know. I kept looking at them. Was like, and they little faces was like broke down, like be hungry, stomachs growling, like. And I was like, yo, like I can't do them like that. So I said, hey, why not? So took them around the corner to Wendy's, and they got what they got, they little happy meals or what have you. She probably told them to do that, right? I thought I thought about that after the fact. I thought about that after the fact. Like before I got there, she must have told him, like, look, I ain't gonna cook. So, kind of see if y'all can somehow, conjure up a way to get him to take you around the corner to Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it was done. Everybody was happy after they ate. Of course, they went to bed, blah, blah, blah. Of course, we stopped talking. We stopped talking. So it is what it is. But so, like I said, good people, tomorrow is Father's Day. Shout out to all the good fathers out there, all of the good fathers out there. You know who you are. This day is for you. Celebrate it, relax, And that's crazy because I was watching it was a meme. They say Mother's Day, mothers get to go out. Father's Day, we cooking on the grill. That's crazy. That is crazy. You ever look at that? Every Father's Day, all the fathers are on the grill. That's crazy. Anywho, what would you do, dads? Let me ask you a question, all the fathers out there, before I take this quick break. What would you do if a man put their hands on your daughter? If you have a daughter, if a man put their hands on your daughter, what would you do? Coming up next on Just Shooting the Breeze with your boy E Digger. Don't go nowhere. Much more to come. And welcome back to the show. You're watching Just Shooting the Breeze with your man, the man that you all know and love, E Digger. Yes. So before the break, I asked the question, guys, if you got daughters and boyfriend put their hands on your daughter, what are you doing? Now, this next video I'm gonna show is kind of funny. It is real funny, but it had me thinking. Like, I mean, I don't have a daughter. I don't have a biological daughter. I have a son, and I have a stepson and a stepdaughter. But like I said, I play a bigger father figure role in her life right now. And I go by I wish a nigga would. That is my explanation right there. I wish a nigga would. Here's why.
This nigga's lost his mind, and I've got my 45. Oh, this nigga's lost his mind. Daddy. Baby, I'ma do about 9.
Daddy, no.
And since he's talking jive, I finna let it slide. I'ma put about 2, 3, 4, 5 right between his eyes. Oh shit!
That's it. That's it right there. I'ma put about 2, 3, 4, or 5 right between his eyes. Fathers, if you know or if you can relate to that video, that is the question. And then there's a lot of guys, that I know who have daughters. They have daughters, and daughters, date older men, you know, and older men set in their ways and want to put hands on your daughter, and enough is enough. And your daughter gives you a call one day crying like and you hear it, I don't know, you hear a woman crying, your mom, your daughter, your aunt, or whoever, female, you hear a female crying, something is wrong. You hear your daughter on the other end says, "Daddy," or you got some daughters that won't say nothing because they know your temperament. You're not putting up with it, and you get that call one day, Dad, and you say that so and so put their hands on your daughter. Now that daughter, that's so and so is her boyfriend, and the dude is a little older than her, and that's the one right there. The daughter is going out with an older man, and I want to say like anywhere between your daughter like 21 and the guy's like 30 or something like that, or probably 40. I don't know. And you get a phone call from your daughter one day and is crying like, so and so Jeffrey put his hands on. Dads, what are you doing? Now, I know me. It ain't, see, a lot of people want to talk, you know. And then you got those fathers, you got guys that, right, go ahead, tell your bitch ass father, you see what I'm saying, and being tough Tony. And then once the father comes to the house or the father catch him out in public, it's a different story. You see what I'm saying? Once the father approached the dude, it's a different story. Cause I'm gonna tell you, if I ever get a call from my daughter that say any man put their hands on my daughter, that is it. I'ma just black the fuck out. It is not going to be no talking situation. Hey, we need to sit down and talk and have a glass of Cavassier and none of that shit. I'm not going to say anything. A lot of fathers like, yo, what the problem is, or what the fuck? No, it ain't even going to be none of that. I'm gonna have the gun in one hand and my fist balled up. So you're gonna catch one of the two. You're gonna catch the end of this pistol, and I'm gonna pistol whip the shit out of you, or I'm gonna just bang you in your motherfucking face. That's how real it is. You're gonna get either pistol whipped, or you're gonna get a little bit of both. You're gonna get these hands and the end of this damn pistol. You see what I'm saying? And by the time that I finish, you ain't even gonna want to think to blink twice around my damn daughter. You see what I'm saying? Because, yo, there's some men out here who think that just because they big and their presence is you and the daughter is not going to say anything or do anything. No, you better stop thinking like that, because there's some guys out here, there's some fathers out here who just like me, they're not going to say anything. They're going to run up on you and beat the shit out of you and ask questions later. Yep. And you got some daughters out here that don't, they don't want to see that side, or think that, just because you intervene, um, that they ain't going to be with them no more. No, you don't need anybody putting their hands on you. That's one. That is one. You put your hands on you. Like it was a situation. It was a situation that me and my son, some other, we had a little disagreement, and she told her father, rest in peace, that we had a little argument, stuff like that, and he listened to me, and I had to apologize to him, and for what I don't know, because the argument was between me and her. She went back and told him, and I came over and spoke my piece. He said, "But did you put your hands on her?" And I said, "No, I didn't." He said, "Oh, okay. That's all that matters, because if I would have said, yeah, I don't think I'll be here. I don't think I'll be here on this microphone talking to y'all right now. Because Mr. Clinton didn't play. He did not play. When it came to his daughters, he didn't play. So that's it. That's the mindset that I have. It's like a lot of guys want to approach these guys and talk and want to get an explanation. No, some guys ain't like that. It's like, why the fuck you touch my daughter? Why the fuck you say, why the fuck you grab my daughter? You see what I'm saying? Ain't no talking. Ain't no talking. So guys, if you have daughters, and like I said, the video that I played, I know it was funny, but in real life, you don't be doing that. Don't put your hands on my daughter. We will not have a problem. We will not have a problem. Once you put your hands on my daughter, we got a problem. I don't give a damn who you are. Talk to my daughter in any old kind of way. I get back. She tell me about it. Or, you put your hands on my daughter, we got a problem. We definitely got a problem. Hey, what's up? This is Just Shooting the Breeze with your man, E. Digger, the man that you all know and love. Tomorrow is Father's Day for all of the true, real fathers out there. This day is for you. Right. Coming up next, I'll share my thoughts about my dad when I was little and spent time with my father. So don't go nowhere. Much more to come. Welcome back to the show. This is Just Shooting the Breeze with your man, the man that you all know and love, E. Digger. Welcome back to the show. Like I said, tomorrow is Father's Day for all of the real fathers out there. This day is for you. Celebrate it. Have fun. Relax. Chill out. Because that work week starts the very next day. And I'm talking about that Monday. It starts off. When I was growing up, wanted to share this, my experience with you. Like I do every Father's Day, I share my experience and my relationship, my bond with my dad, who, of course, is not here physically with me. It's crazy when I tell people this, but I never called my father dad or pop or father. I it I don't know. All I knew was a man, very fairly light skinned. My father was very light skinned, very white hair, very smooth white hair, real smooth. My dad was smooth, like he dressed up, tie, suit, dress pants, shoes, shiny shoes. Um, Very seldom seen my father in jeans. Uh, he was smooth, you know. My father used to drink. You used to have something in a paper bag, and he won't get to the point where he will get overly drunk. He won't overdo it. He would drink just enough to feel good, and that was it. My dad wasn't a big breakfast type dude, and he's not eating cereal in the morning. He's not eating oatmeal in the morning. He wasn't that person. He would eat what he had for dinner the day before. And it was these I can remember every time when I used to go over his house, and when I was growing up, I didn't really have a big appetite, you know. It was it took me a while to eat my food because the stuff that my father was cooking, I ain't like it. I'm talking, anywhere between, collard greens and macaroni and cheese and big meals, and just give me some cereal. I'm content with that, But that wasn't my father. When I went over my father's house for the very first time, like, Dad, you got some cereal? You got some milk? He was like, no. He was very offended, like, no, I don't eat that stuff. That's for snacks. I eat that for a snack. And he was these little dinner rolls that he used to make, and they was good. I ain't going front. And my father worked at the Cloverland Dairy, right over on uh Kirk Avenue, very close to where I live at now. Before they moved, because before then they was on Monroe Street, and he used to work there, and he used to pump gas for the trucks that came in, for the little delivery trucks that used to go out. So of course, Cloverland Dairy, all the milk, all the juices you can think of, I had it. All the little carton of milk, all the little juices, these little orange juices, man, I had it. I had it. My father used to bring it over. I was straight. We were straight on milk. We were straight on juice. We were straight. And he worked there for a number of years before he said, I'm going to retire and move back home, which was South Carolina, North Carolina, whatever Carolina it was. I always get it misconstrued. And my bond with my father was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now Sunday was iffy, you know. Uh, I'm definitely seeing my father on Friday and Saturday. I'm gonna see him every Friday, every Saturday. Come and get me, come and pick me up, and it was a routine. He didn't play about my hair. It was haircuts every time I saw my father, because my hair used to grow just as soon as I get it cut, it grow back, and I had a bush. I had a lot of hair, y'all, and I wish today that I still had that hair. I had a lot of hair, and when he came and got me, that's the first place we going. We going to the barbershop every Friday or Saturday, one of the two. If he came on a Friday, we going on Friday. If he came on a Saturday, which was most days, that was Saturday was the official haircut barbershop day, you know. And I would go and I would get my hair cut religiously every Saturday. And he would take me he would take me in the back of the barbershop, because once you walked out the back of the barbershop, you walk right into this thrift store. I am not a fan of thrift stores to this day. Here's why. Because you buying a whole bag of clothes back then for like $2 or $5. I'm like, And these are hand-me-down clothes. These are somebody else's clothes that you had to wash and put them in this bag and they resell them for $5. I am not a fan. I am not a fan. And that's what he did because he wasn't a fan of name brand. You know, he gained back then it was Lee's, Levi's, Jordache. He was not a fan. He'll tell you quick, I am not spending all that money on no jeans. I am not spending no money on no sneakers. And I remember that. He picked me up one day because I needed some tennis. And this is when Air Jordans first came out. Air Jordans first came out. And of course, Air Jordans was a little pricey back then. And he said he didn't even ask what type of tennis I want. We went to Payless. And he bought me a pair of tennis. A lot of you know tennis as sneakers. Of course, in Baltimore, we call them tennis. Y'all will call them sneakers. And you know the colors of the Air Jordans. It was black, white, and red. When I went into the Payless, I saw a pair of shoes that had those same colors. And I said, oh, they got Air Jordans. Oh my God. And he said, you like those? And I said, yeah, they Air Jordans. But little did I know, the swoosh, the Nike swoosh, it didn't have that. It had some old other swoosh on it. It wasn't even a swoosh. It was the Payless swoosh. Like, they was the knockoffs. And they bought them. And I think he paid like, back then, it was like $10, $15 for them sneakers or tennis, you know. And I won the school. And I knew that the swoosh wasn't a real, you know, Jordans. They wasn't the real Michael Jordans. But I said, if I keep my pants creased to a certain point where they can't see the swoosh, all they see is the colors, I could get away with it. But back in my time growing up, you got cracked on if you had no name clothes on. Surprising. You get cracked on big time. You see what I'm saying? So I wore them to school. Oh, they joked me every which way. It was I came home crying. And yeah, it was crazy. And to the point where, you know, I didn't want to go back to school. He had to talk to me. He was like, you know, the shoes don't make the person makes a person, all this. And I was like, you just don't know the type of people that go to my school, evidently. And I loved my father, no matter how much he, you know, penny pinched and did what he did. I love my father because he taught me a lot of things. He taught me how to save money, which I don't. He taught me the value of a dollar. And it's crazy because when I became a parent, I did with my son the same thing he did with me. It was like we are going to the barbershop religiously to get our hair cut. We don't stay, we never did go to the thrift store though. But some of the stuff that he did with me, I did with my son when my son was growing up. It was crazy. And I am just so blessed to have had that time with him. Until he moved to North Carolina to be around his family because none of his family was here. And I went to visit him when he went down there. Before he moved down there, he went to visit his family and said, you know, he was coming down here to live and, you know, things of that nature. And they already, you know, they already had a house for him. They already had a car for him. You know, it was like, come on down. That's all you need is your drawers. You know, you don't need your furniture, nothing. You just need to come down here. We got you. And that's when my father had took sick. And little did I know, my father had cancer, and my father passed away from esophagus cancer. There is another term for it, but in layman's terms, that's what he had. He had esophagus cancer. And that was the very first time that I experienced death, was the passing of my father. And I was scared. I was frightened. Um because I didn't know life without my father. Not not having him around is what scared me. Not being able to talk to him. And it's crazy, to this day, I still remember his phone number. I still remember his phone number, you know. And one day when I remember, when I was small, I used to call the number, and this is way before answering machines, and the phone would just ring and ring and ring, and I remember calling that number and nobody answering the phone. And you know, just being that young, losing your dad, who him and my mom, they had a relationship, but not being not being in the house, but I knew who he was. I spent time with him. I didn't resent him for that, because whenever I needed my dad, he was right there. He would just drop what he did. He was right there. Uh it was a lot of times where it was a lot of times where I forgot that he had passed on, especially during the raising of my son, because I didn't know. A new father, didn't know, and I wanted my dad. I wanted to talk to my father. And there was a lot of times that I forgot that he was gone. So, guys, if you have if from people, if you still have your father living, love on your father. If you and your dad are beefing, whatever it is, please resolve your problems with your father. If you and your dad have a bond, continue the bond. Talk to your dad, call your dad, go out with your father. There are some times where my son, he only calls me when he need me. He only reach out when he need me, and that's crazy. But you know, the bond that you have between your father and yourself, that is a very special, special bond. I am proud to be a father. I'm proud to be a father figure, a stepdad. Um, and we don't come with instructions. We don't genuinely know what to do all the time, but we avail ourselves accordingly. We avail ourselves all the time. When my son was born, I had no clue, because my mom wasn't there, my dad wasn't there to guide me through it. It was like I'm riding this thing with blinders on, you know. So people, if you still have your dad present in your life, love on your dad. Be there for your dad. Go out with your dad. Talk to your dad. And I'm not just saying, hey dad, just calling to see how you doing. Talk to your father. I talk to my wife's dad all the time, because he's the only dad right now that I got. and his wisdom, man, is just impeccable. And just to pick his brain is just fascinating to me sometimes. So, like I said, good people, tomorrow's Father's Day. Do something special. Do something that you never did before with your dad. I actually miss my dad. Yes, Exoskeleton is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, do something special for your dad. Remember your dad. Those who don't physically have your father with you presently right now, he is here in your heart. Your father lives in you, has a new home in you. And for those who have their father, be there for your dad. Talk to your father. Just don't call your father on Father's Day. Be there for your father. Go out with your dad. Go out, spend time with your father, even if you go out for a beer or go buy, go fishing with your dad. Talk to your dad. Be there with your dad. And then that is my message to you on Father's Day. All of the true fathers out there, enjoy your day tomorrow. Don't cook on the grill. I think that Father's Day is just like Mother's Day. Don't cook. Don't cook. Just don't cook. You know what I'm saying? Why are we cooking on the grill? Somebody need to be cooking for us. That's how I put it. Hey, this is Just Shooting the Breeze with your boy, E Digger, the man you all know and love. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you are watching me. I know it's at 1 o'clock. I was relaxing today. I ain't going front. And I forgot. But make sure you check me out every Saturday at 1 p.m. or throughout the day. Sometime I will go live. Make sure you are tuned in tomorrow to Conversations with E Digger at 3 p.m. right here on Charm City Direct TV. A couple ways you can watch it: on my personal page on Facebook, on TikTok, where I'm live right now, and on YouTube at Charm City Direct TV. All the time. You have been great every time. Thank you for your support. Hey, and in closing, like I always say, I holler at you when I smile at you. Peace. This has been a presentation of Charm City Direct TV in association with the Lions Den Media Studio. Thank you for watching.